What's up, Kris Krohn here, and it is War Week on the Kris Krohn channel. Today we're talking about the government's war, specifically Biden's war, against self-directed IRAs. Most people don't know that an IRA can be used to actually buy real estate, but that might be going away. So here, I'm gonna help you understand the debate, what's going on, and what you can do to help fight for your freedom to be able to use a wonderful tool like a self-directed IRA to go out and buy some of the most profitable real estate of the century.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Now check it out. I'm back here in studio because before I shoot that cannon, I really want you to understand how self-directing a 401k or an IRA actually work, because guess what? They are totally under attack. And if you have a 401k or an IRA, you still have some options, but those options might be going away. Let's start with this. What does it really mean to self-direct an IRA or 401k? Imagine this for a moment. Let's just say that you had $100,000 that you have worked hard to put into either your 401k or your IRA. Right now, we're just going to assume that those are the same thing. You might have one or the other. You might have a combination of both. But this $100,000, you've been putting money in this 401k or IRA hoping that it will grow over time. What they didn't tell you is that the 30-year average is that it's growing at 6%. And 6% means that it's going to triple in value over a 20-year life. But in real estate, you could do a lot better than that, because instead of getting 6%, you literally could be earning 25%. Or like right now, I'm earning between 30 and 50% a year on my money. That means that my money is doubling literally just about every other year. So my money is growing wildly. So you got to be thinking, okay, Kris, how do I convert my money in a 401k IRA and pull it out and put it into a, real estate? Well, listen, if I were to do option A, which is, let's just talk about what would happen if I cancel the account. Option A, if I cancel the account, I've got a 10% penalty, which takes my $100,000 now to just $90,000. And then I have to pay my taxes. And I don't know what tax bracket you're gonna be in, but let's just say taxes wipe it down to $70,000. You're gonna sit there and have an, oh man, Kris, are you serious? I had $100K, now I pulled it out, and now I only have $70,000. That's kind of what the government wants you to do right now if they change this legislation. Currently, however, you actually have other options and you may not be aware. Instead, you have this thing called a self-directed IRA. Let's just say that option B is to SD, self-direct. And what you're saying is, all right, I don't want my money sitting in a 401k or IRA, but I don't want to take them out either. So I'm going to take it out of the market, which means I'm going to self-direct it and move it out of the market into a place on a shelf where I could do certain types of real estate. For example, did you know that that $100,000 could literally be lended out on real estate? As in, it could be a hard money loan. Or let's just say you went to a part of the country where you could buy a house for $100,000. You could literally buy the house cash inside the self-directed IRA, and you would be putting $100,000 to work instead of $70,000 where you paid taxes and penalties. I even have, for example, a private fund on how I invest in real estate. And when people build a relationship with me, partner with me, and decide to invest with me, that fund is also another way to not have to pay taxes, not have to pay penalties, and put it right legitimately into real estate. So understand that self-directing an IRA or 401k is a huge tax break, it's a huge money saver, and it's a way for you to get in the game of real estate without those taxes and penalties, unless the government takes that away.
Birthday! What'd you think of that?
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I thought the minigun was cool.
My video wasn't like, you do it again?
Oh my gosh. So for years, One of my favorite ways to help people get in the game of real estate is to convert 401ks and IRAs into self-directed accounts that they can then use to buy real estate, or they could actually own pieces of businesses. And there's rules on what you can and can't do, but right now the government is trying to take those rules away. And here's what's kind of crazy about that. You know, we're in the system right now where we contribute to a 401k in hopes of having the retirement we want. We contribute to an IRA in hopes of having the retirement that we want. The problem is that at some point you wake up and you start realizing, I've been doing this for X number of years, I've been saving this money, and I'm starting to like see the writing on the wall. I'm never going to be able to save enough money like I really want for retirement. So what do? Well, I need to take my money out of my 401k or IRA, and you start thinking, geez, yes, I do need to invest it. I do need to direct it differently. I do need to own businesses or start businesses or own real estate, which by the way is a business. And you start thinking, yeah, but if I take that 401k out, if I take that IRA out, I'm gonna have to pay the 10% penalty, and then I'm gonna be taxed on the full amount, which maybe I'm in a 20% tax bracket, maybe it'll be 30%. So you start doing the math and thinking, I'm gonna wipe out a third of that account if I access it. And it's that fear and those rules that say, don't do that. Well, for the last several decades, there's been a solution. The government has allowed this rule that says, hey, if you want to remove your money out of the stock market that you have in your 401k or in the IRA, like you understand that that's sitting in indexed funds right now, earning very, very small ROI, very little compound interest effect on that. So you say, well, I want to pull that out. And we've up until now have been able to do what's called a self-directed 401k or a self-directed IRA. That means that you can pull the money out of the stock market and just literally have it sitting on a shelf waiting for you to direct it to do certain things. And a self-directed account, for example, of an IRA or 401k can own real estate. Did you know that your 401k or IRA literally could be out there buying some of the most profitable real estate that we will likely see in the next century? And yet that's what the government is trying to take away right now. And that's putting a lot at risk for a ton of people, because think about this. Many of these individuals, maybe even you yourself, for years, maybe even decades, have been contributing to a 401k IRA in hopes that you could then leverage it, invest it, and do some different things. Now we're being told that that plan that you've had all this time is no longer usable. If we remove a self-directed IRA or a self-directed 401k's ability to do things like own real estate, that's going to massively impact your ability to buy real estate the way that could be in the most tax-advantaged fashion for you. You know, for just a moment, think about this. When your money's sitting in a 401k or an IRA, you know, the 30-year average on those things is usually right around 6%. So if you had saved up $50,000 and just let it ride at an average of 6% for 20 years, your account would triple. You'd go from $50,000 to $160,000. If you could pull that money out and put it in real estate for a moment, earning 25% ROI, over that same 20-year period of time, $50,000 wouldn't become $160,000. It could become $2.3 million. That's what people realize with their 401ks and IRAs, that they're sitting on a small little hard-earned treasure trove that could be out working for them, and it's not. And that's why they get interested of self-direction in the first place. The bigger question is self-direction your only option? So if the government does take away a self-directed IRA or 401k, just understand that's not your only option. You actually have the ability to pull that money out. Sure, there'll be taxes and penalties, but that penalty is a cost of business, right? It's very small. And taxes are inevitable. There's no age at which those taxes actually ever go away. Getting that earning real estate at 25%, or like I'm doing 35% or 50%, do you understand what that has the ability to do for you? Well, first of all, taxes and penalties, you're gonna erase that rapidly. Even in year one, you could rapidly surpass that loss, if you will. So whether they take it away or not, what's really important is that you know that there's still a pathway forward for you. Man, I gotta tell you, those tanks are a lot of fun to fire, but you know what's more fun? making a lot of money and making it in real estate. Listen, if you have a 401k or an IRA, you have other options and you should be asking, well, Kris, what should I do about it? Right now, I have a solution for you. There is a link below where you can actually partner with me or at least learn about partnering with me. We're pretty selective right now because right now I'm buying a home almost every single day, but I've got to buy those with the right partners. It's people all over the world, just like you and I, that have been watching like thousands of pieces of my content, maybe for months or years, and they know my track record on $1 billion worth of real estate. They know the ROIs that I'm getting, and they know that I'm making people wealthy over time in the game of real estate. If that's something that you're interested in, let me show you your best options on a 401k, an IRA, or frankly, any other assets that you have. That link is below. Click it, get with my team, and let me show you how to turn that into a lot of money. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. If you're not a subscriber, clean that up right now. Click that button. I've got more videos coming your way just about every single day. You also might be wondering, Kris, am I getting priced out of the real estate market? I mean, it just keeps going up in value. Is it too late for me? If you're worried about missing out on the greatest real estate opportunity of the century, click this video right here and let me show you how to get in before it's too late.
You ready, boss?
This is you hold it down, it'll keep firing, okay?
You got it. Lean into it.
Lean in.
Get aggressive.
Lean forward.
We're gonna reload you, buddy.
All right.